so one of the things with that practitioners are struggling with is a lot of these technology and tech companies, they're very young. Some of them are only a few years old, maybe already working with somebody big, maybe not. But there is now a change in responsibility. It used to be that the IT group would select and evaluate and invite technology companies into your and help implement. But now that onus is really on the business leader, on the supply chain leader. Now it's a director of warehousing who has to interact with you and talk with you about tech and AI. And that person knows everything about how to run the warehouse, the people, the racks and whatnot, but not necessarily about tech and AI and evaluating, like, is this company mature? Are they ready to scale? Can they scale with us, right? What's from a technology vendor strategy, right? Like how would you advise a senior warehousing manager or director level leader, operational leader who now has to understand AI tech, computer vision tech, right? Like how would you help them ask the right questions to an emerging tech company?
Um, so couple of things, Florian. I think one of the things that AI generally has done is the very, very basic tech is not as hard to build. And so, and I'm generalizing this, not necessarily always true. The the technology difference between first your best player and your second best player is not going to be more than 10%, 15%. And nothing's to say that 15% cannot be bridged in 3 months, right? So the bigger question is not really how you are evaluating technology, because technology will change. The guy who's second or third today might become first tomorrow. Is you are evaluating the DNA of the organization, right? Not the technology of the organization. And the DNA needs to keep in mind two things. One, specifically in the case of computer vision, it's not a chatbot. I can't give you a chatbot and it'll start running. It interacts with the physical world. So change management is huge, right? You need someone who's willing to step out of their technology bubble, walk into your world, spend time in your world, understand how your world works. What are the million ways that their tech can break when applied in your world, right? And I think that's what the first thing I would assess, because going back to label reading, right? Reading labels is easy. Then why is everyone not reading labels then, right? Because it's people driving forklifts. It's people putting labels on the places, right? So a camera can only read what it can see and what it can see reliably. If I don't take the label and put it in the right place, I can't read it, right? So there is a lot beyond technology that is actually important to make it really stick in the physical world and drive the change. So what you want to evaluate more than the technology itself is the DNA of the organization. If they are willing to, if they are committed to actually making a change on the ground, if they are willing to walk the floor with you, do the 3 month, 6 month, 8 month, 9 month journey it might take to get use cases to a usable level, right? And I think the rest takes care of itself. The biggest struggle is if you just start evaluating technology, right? You're doing a feature comparison. Someone will always have better features. That doesn't mean they're actually a better partner for the long term. So in some ways, what I'm saying is that hasn't changed, because you don't always buy the best technology. You buy the best partner, right? And I would still apply that lens.
I mean, I think it's a great point, and I would argue it's probably now more important than ever. I think before, like, I feel like a lot of this boom, like you were saying, with AI enabling
Yep.
1,500 tech companies to suddenly show up at Manifest,
Yep.
right? And everybody also jumped on the supply chain opportunity because of COVID, because everybody saw how
Yep.
much supply chain was struggling, and then they were like, perfect, it's a money-making opportunity, right? And now, as a supply chain leader, I get bombarded with emails and sales and all of that, right? In navigating myself through that, and realizing what you just said, that most of these Gen AI applications are going to be very, very similar, in understanding how you as a team work, right? That is actually, I would say, this is a perspective that the venture capital world understands better than anybody else, right? Like, because they evaluate teams probably the
Yep.
most before they put
Yep.
money into that company. And
Yep.
and I like how you framed that, which is a VC probably evaluates the team more from a perspective of, is this your first startup? What kind of experience do you have in this? What kind of you're a technical founder? Do you have a business partner? Do you have somebody who understands marketing, communication, all of that, right? But you're saying how to evaluate probably knowledge around supply chain, for instance, is one thing, but then the willingness of learning more, the willingness
Yep.
of understanding the variety, the variables in my
Yep.
supply chain, the
Yep.
ability to adapt your technology to my needs. I mean,
Yep.
that's super interesting. I've never heard it put that way.
Go ahead.
So perfect. I
I
love
mean,
it.
I'm again, like I said, I'm coming from, label reading should be easy, but I have seen it fail in so many different places in so many different ways that I can only know they fail this way when I see it fail that way. I
Right.
wouldn't have thought about it will fail that way.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.